Reebok needs redemption badly in India. Aditya Birla Fashion needs a breakout success and is trying to script around turnaround for Reebok, much like Metro Brands is doing for Fila in India. Now, to this day, any mention of Reebok immediately puts me in the mind of Andy Roddick. The tennis star was one of the most famous people on the planet in the beginning of the century to wear these shoes and clothes designed by this American brand. There is a striking similarity between him and Reebok. His blistering serves aside, he rarely inspired any awe. On his day, he was undoubtedly very good, but his greatness always eluded him. In his defense, he was up against the celestial Roger Federer in four of his five Grand Slam finals, and he duly lost them all. Similarly, Reebok too has long been in Nike's shadow. Despite its association with NBA legends like Shaquille O'Neal and Allen Iverson, Reebok's track record as sportswear brand has been checkered at the best. Adidas bought Reebok in 2005 for $3.8 billion in an attempt to take on Nike, especially in USA. But 16 years later, Adidas has said enough is enough. It sold Reebok for much less than what it was bought for. Now, while Adidas did manage to restore Reebok's profitability, it was far less successful in building a brand that was able to steal the share and capture the hearts and minds of consumers. Adidas never worked out what to do with Reebok. It was neither seen as the go-to brand for sporting professionals, nor it was an athleisure for fashion and style. In the early days, Adidas struggled to whip Reebok into shape. There was one market where Reebok shone brighter than every other rival, and that market was India. Reebok, which has been present in India since 1995, was a market leader in 2006 when Adidas took over the brand globally. The kind of dominance Reebok had at its peak, none of the brands, whether Nike or Adidas, had. Because after all, this was a market share game which Reebok was winning. But Reebok's market leadership turned out to be a smokescreen. In 2012, Adidas disclosed that it had uncovered financial irregularities, including inflated sales worth rupees 870 crores at Reebok India's unit. Now, as Adidas was left to pick up the pieces, global rivals such as Puma, Asics, and Skechers stepped on the gas in India. It was in the year March of 2015 when Skechers India revenue was merely rupees 80 crores, that is $9.6 million. Or to say it in the other way, it was one fourth of Reebok's top line. But now, 7 years later, Skechers' sale has shot nearly up to rupees 1000 crores. That's $120 million, now, which is double of Reebok's sale. There are several reasons for Skechers' success in India, but I would wager that their range of slip on walking shoes has been the key success factor. If you look at any elderly person walking and going for a morning walk, chances are that it's Skechers watch they are wearing. Skechers eschewed being cool in favor of catering to undeserved demographics. Asics, on the other hand, positioned itself as a brand for serious runners. But Reebok continued to be rudderless. Then, in 2022, Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail acquired the rights to distribute and sell it in India. It is often compared with Tata Group's Trent, but the two retailer trajectories couldn't be more different. As far as business goes, Tata and Aditya Birla are storied as they come, but neither had an unqualified success in retail. For their supermarket ventures like Tata Star and Aditya Birla's More, they always operated on the fringes of Indian grocery market. Even in fashion, they plodded along as Reliance Industries, which opened its first clothing store in 2007, built an unassailable lead. Reliance operates over 5,500 lifestyle stores now, a number that Trent and Aditya Birla Fashion combined won't be able to reach in several years. Trent decided to change things up a few years ago, now with a value chain called Zudio. Zudio has turbocharged Trent's scale and sale and market cap. But Aditya Birla Fashion can't quite figure out what it is. Aditya Birla Fashion seems to be a combination of several of its listed peers. Trent and Vedanta Fashion, which runs the brand Manevar, then Campus Activewear. All these are rolled into one. With revenue of rupees 12,400 crores, which is approximately $1.5 billion dollars for the year ending 2023, Aditya Birla Fashion was the largest of these companies. In fact, it is 50% bigger than Trent, and it's only adding to its motley collection of brands with the recent acquisition of companies behind India retail like W and Aurelia. Aditya Birla Fashion finally has the chance to have its own breakout success. Since it became a Reebok licensee, Aditya Birla Fashion has increased its exclusive brand outlets from 120 to 160. Plus, Reebok is now being sold at 185 department stores, including Shoppers Stop, where you can find several apparel brands of Aditya Birla Group. The retailer will need to pull all its might behind Reebok, and not because of the market leader Puma and young entrants like Asics. Fila, which is even a smaller company than compared to Reebok, has now the advantage of having Metro Brands as its India franchisee. And with Crocs, Metro has shown what it can do with a brand that many did not expect in India to click. By one estimate, Metro is expected to not have just 200 exclusive brand outlets for Fila by 2030, but also sell Fila at 500 of its own multi brand outlets. So, just to conclude, Reebok may be an insignificant part of Aditya Birla fashion retail right now. But just think about it. 2 years ago, did anyone think that Zudio will be the reason for investors that it cannot get enough of Trent? Now, Zudio is something that everyone wants to talk about when it comes to a Tata Group firm. Hence, we have to now look at how can Reebok come up the curve when it comes to athletics and athleisure brands. And if this competition between various brands like Adidas, Nike, Reebok, Fila, Asics, Skechers will help in promoting Indian sports where it's supposed to be. Thank you.